Hi Fabian, how are you?
Good. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much, Fabian. So we would like to know more about you, Fabian. So just tell me before we dive into the fascinating world of artificial intelligence and entrepreneurship, let's get to know you a bit better on a personal level. Can you share with us a fun and quirky hobby or interest that not many people know about you? Something that helps you unwind from the world of AI and tech?
Well, I like to spend my free time preparing for the dystopian future. So one of my hobbies is live action role play games, and I just joined for a week into the Fallout scenario where we practice or live through the whole society after a nuclear meltdown and rebuilding of society. So I prepare for the
Game is
moment when the AI wins.
perfect, perfect. Rise of AI has become a prominent AI conference in Germany, right? What inspired you to start this initiative and how has it contributed to the growth of AI community?
Well, I think the beginning was when I read a book by Ray Kurzweil about the singularity is near in 2013, and I wanted to discuss these topics. So I started a small meetup with 10 people called the Berliner Futurist. And from this, I did more meetups and they were oversubscribed. And my wife then once said, hey, why don't we do a full-time conference for this? So over the last years, it evolved from being a place where futuristic people meet. Today it's a place where everyone who's involved in AI met. But the beginning there wasn't a lot of AI, so we started to educate about and create awareness.
As we look ahead to the future of AI, what emerging trends or technology do you find particularly exciting? How do you envision AI shaping various industries in the coming years?
AI is shaping every industry in every field, but it depends. The more digital driven a business model is, or company, or a market is, the more AI they already use today or will use. um, Whenever we talk about AI, we need to talk about digitalization first. You need to know
Mm-hmm.
your data, your processes, how to work with them, and then you start with the AI. Many companies like to skip the first part and jump directly to the AI and then are frustrated. So when we look for education, very little AI. Healthcare, a little AI because it's heavily regulated. If we go for marketing, it's full AI. Fintech, it's full of AI. So overall, what I see in trends is that with the upcoming of enterprise GDP and other um, large language models or foundation models, they are going to be customized built for enterprises and they will have domain expertise. So in soon, a couple of years or months, we will see generative AI being very good to build automotive parts, or is way better than designing airplanes and certain things. So it will be a very smart assistance tools. And we're finally in the phase of collecting all the expertise knowledge and feeding it into the self-learning systems.
I think so. The emerging industry is aviation, is the automotive industry, right? Or
Well,
any
and
other
also
industry
you
you think?
chemistry and logistics and retail. I would say
Mm-hmm.
the most leverage you have in logistics, for example, because there's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
math behind it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
AI can help you to run numbers way smoother than we. I see a lot of AI in the part of sustainability. But for the rise of AI, I always look for the new fields. So for example, I'm heavily excited about AI in the defense space, but also, for example, saving biodiversity. I will just
Hmm.
have a call with someone who's building AI for marine biology to help preserving the oceans.
Absolutely, we need this, and we need to think about it. And I'm very happy that some is still one person. If we are thinking that, it's mean we will start it. So if you are thinking in that way, it is a huge. It will be a huge impact the whole globally.
AI is a great tool. It's always a
No,
tool,
yes,
and it's
yes,
us to
yes,
us humans if we use it for good or bad, and we can
right,
use it for making more money. I know
right.
I have friends who make a fortune with AI trading, but I think we should use these tools to save our planet, to save, to improve our healthcare, to tackle the climate change. All this is way too complicated for a single human or for a group of humans
Hmm.
to solve it.
Yeah. Coming to you, share some insights into the startup you have recently invested in. What drew you to that?
Well, I would say the most, not the recent investment, but the investments I like the most currently is the Marantix AG, which is for me exciting because it's more strategic investment, because they have a venture fund. So they start their own ventures, 2-3 companies a year, which is, for example, one going into fertility management. So they have one team who is able to help women who can't get children with a 95% likelihood because of AI to tell them if the egg they will implant is suited for them or not. So it will help a lot of women to get more children and more affordable, for example. So they are starting these companies, one thing, but they also have, Marantix has a campus, a couple of them. So they have just dedicated co-working space for AI companies. They have their own fund. They have 2 funds by now. And they have their own consultancy. And what I like about them is that they cover the whole spectrum, from investing to advising to being able to do long-term shops, but building community at the same time. So this is for me perfect ecosystem in a small scale.
Perfect. I would like to add one more question. What major things do you see in the startup when you are going for the investment part? What key elements you want to see?
Well, if you invest into AI or not, it's always the
Mm-hmm.
same at the end. It's product, market, team, and I call it timing. So I have lost money because I gave founders capital, but they were a little bit too early in the market, or they didn't have the patience to stay with the market long enough. So, for example, in the military sector, I did investments 6-7 years ago, and they failed because, you know, the war came now there is the need for it, but you didn't have the money to finance them for the whole time. So it needs a lot of patience and endurance. And this is for every entrepreneur out there. The second is AI is very slow. So especially you need more patience than normally, because it takes way longer to have revenue, to have proof of concept, to show your technology. So I look for founders who know that they're in the game for at least a decade, and that they know they will stick to it for serious time.
How many successful entrepreneurs have a daily routine that keeps them grounded and productive? What does your typical day looks like? And
Oh,
do you have any unique habits?
I like the question. So in the morning, I don't have a wake up call. I wake up when I'm
Uh,
ready. Then I take a dog walk. It's always good. You know, I don't eat in the morning. I do intermediate fasting, so I only eat in the later afternoon or in the evening. I take a lot of supplements in between, just optimized on my blood values, which I measure every couple of weeks to months. So optimizing my supplements on there. And then important for me in the routines is in the evening, no electricity, especially in the bedroom. You know, just read for the
Perfect.
last 1-2 hours, you know, give your body time to calm down, to get tired naturally. Then I just sleep as long as my body wants it. I never tell him when he has to get up. You know, there's some exceptions when I have to get a plane. But else I try to stay to those routines, and that's why I travel less than before, because I sleep the best way in my own bed.
You are doing the work-life balance right now. I mean, what I say, right?
I do. You know, you only live once. My body is
Uh,
my temple, and I need to maintain my body and my mind the best way. So I always stay fit. I don't get sick, and I'm very seldom sick. I'm always good mood. And if I keep to my routines, I can give my best every day.
you are basically living your moment right now, so you can live the moments. We call it uh, present is a gift, history is a mystery,
Yes.
and yes, okay. Past is a history, future is a mystery. Live in the present because it is a gift. So this is the
Oh,
whole
yes.
motto. Yeah. So
Oh, yes.
perfect. I really would like to see that everybody, especially either they are investor entrepreneur or whatever they do, they need to be like you, that they have should have a proper schedule, so they will have a good vibes all the day.
It wasn't always the same before COVID. I travel a lot international. I did
Mm.
700 to 800 meetings a year, and I wasted a lot of energy. And so I learned to preserve my energy and to invest it in the right things in the right time. And since you only live once, it is important to seize every day and still do something which is improving the world a little bit better. So doing things for yourself, but also doing things for society, but having the right balance, because it's not sure if society is paying you back.
Good. I really, mean, this is a, you can say mantra, that it is mantra of the life, that you need to live in a proper way. Give yourself a time, peace of mind. And this is the biggest thing in the life right now after the COVID. So looking ahead, how many startups are you aiming to invest this year and over the next 5 years? And do you have a specific
Um,
sector or industry in mind?
Depends a little bit. We're with our new fund in the closing. So, if I do the numbers, we want to do as a team 5 to 10 investments next year, let's say 20 to 30 investments over the next 3 years, because you have an investment period per fund of 1 to max 3 or 4 years where you do direct investments and then you do follow-up investments. But as usual, depends a little bit on the market. I hate spending money just because I have to spend money. That's why my own fund was always driven by opportunities and not by a need to invest. If you have great teams, you do 2 investments a week. If you don't have a good team, you don't do investments at all.
Specific industry, what industries?
Well, I favor everything which is B2B applied AI. I don't think that in Europe we have a large chance to go in the end consumer market, because this is mainly dominated by the American companies or the Chinese one on the other hand. So I believe the largest opportunity for Europe, but also for India and Africa, etc., is in the industries, helping, as we talk about, the automotive companies to become more digital and intelligent, to help the whole manufacturing industries. Everything which is produced there could be automated without human touch at the end if we want to. I always say good AI is invisible. So I want to invest into companies who build AIs who are amazing, but we as an end user will never see or feel it, because if it works fine and doesn't do mistakes, we don't experience it negatively.
So my next question is, artificial intelligence opening sparks discussion about the future. If you could travel 100 years into the future, what's the first thing you would want to see or learn about AI and its impact in society?
I'm highly curious to learn if AI has solved the large problems of wealth in fairness. Are the richer getting richer because of AI, or have we figured out a tax system, an incentive system that we can redistribute the earnings of AI to society so that everyone has a roof, health, and education? So I don't want that anyone is starving or is, everyone should have the opportunity to figure out what they want in their life and be the best of themselves without having the force to take a job just to survive. So I would like to come to a level that AI is providing everyone a guaranteed living standard. And then we'll see. In science fiction, we will face over the next 10 to 30 years a huge great reset, great breakup, revolution. I don't know what it is, but the system we're living in can't continue like it's going now. We don't have enough resources. We don't have, it's too much tension in it, and this tension has to leave. But I don't know who will win. And if in 100 years we will have a couple of super rich ones ruling the whole world with AI, like in China, or will it be more a European way where we are able to find a common, value, and where we find a certain peace within society, that AI is there, we embrace it, but it's not destroying our values. Quite the opposite, it's enhancing our values of peace, of empathy, of commitment, letting humans be humans.
The humans, yes. The major thing is the empathy, Fabian. We, right now in these days, we don't empathize. Empathize and sympathy is two different things, basically. Empathy is that you are feeling the same thing, the same frequency of the other person, right? So we need
Yes.
to be in that area, that it's okay, everything's money, we are working for the money, but we need to consider the other areas of the life as well. Happiness, peace of
If
mind,
Yes.
health.
If you just go for the money, it's mostly an indication that something is not right in your mental state. I was very money driven before, but it was, because I wanted to show my father, please, hey, I'm successful. Please give me your attention. I also wanted to have his attention, his love. I had to learn that with more money, I can't buy the love or the respect of my father, even if he told me this before. So money is just a tool, and we need enough money to pay for rent and for bills, but more is not always better.
Absolutely agree with you.
And I do AI investment. Sure, I invest money into them to get money back, but I don't do it for the money. I love helping entrepreneurs to be successful. I love this energy. I truly believe that it will have an impact on society, and they need capital for this. But there
Absolutely.
again, the capital is the tool you need
So,
to be successful and to continue. It's not the goal.
goal, absolutely. You mentioned that even your wife have been working together on Rise of AI. What it like to work alongside your partner, and how do you balance your personal and professional lives?
Well, since we both live and breathe the AI ecosystem, I truly enjoy to have a partner in life who shares my passion for AI, and therefore we both have a good understanding. We know the same people. We push each other. We help each other. And also we can fit our work perfectly into our life. Like, there's no reason to have a forced meeting. We can do it
Mm,
in the car when we travel to vacation. It's often that we do vacations and then we don't really work, but we still think, we brainstorm, we collaborate. So it's perfectly, because it's not a job. It's in German we say Berufung, which means like professional passion. So you don't do this because you have to do it. You do it because you want to do it. And
wanted
I really enjoy working with my wife because I highly respect her in her field, and it works well because she's a professional event manager. So she's doing all the organizational part. I'm more the guy who knows the people, who's doing the program. So we are very good adding value to each other. And we figured this out over the time. Sure, we fight over several things, but mostly we fight privately. Seldom we fight over business reasons.
Same likewise, me and my husband. I'm a polisher consultant, and my husband is a digital marketing, and we both in our areas are experts. But we both, when we are in a one table, we are sharing our skills. I'm helping him as a partial consultant in-house as well, making
Yeah.
for him a budget and everything, and making a saving plans for him. And he is a marketing consultant, so he know how to do everything. He is implementing my budget. He is implementing my costing analysis in his personal life, and side by side his business life as well. So yes, when your partner be a partner in the business life as well, I believe that you are having more success, far more success, if you are the single.
History was driven by family businesses. It's at the end families who were over the periods of centuries very successful.
Mm-hmm.
From the Roman Empire to the medieval ages until today. I
Mm.
do not. I mean, sure, we take jobs because we need jobs, and sometimes the structures out there. But for me, it cost me a lot of opportunities. I believe that building something long lasting with very good friends or business partners or your own family provides you more happiness and more sustainability for everything, because you don't work for a company who's getting richer. You work for your own, and you have the whole risk and opportunities in your hand, and if you're strong enough to make this, please do it. And I like it. It's more natural to work within a family than going to a job.
So again, asking the same question. When evaluating potential investments, what are the key criteria qualities you look for in a startup or a founder?
um Product market team. So with the team, let's say we stay with AI or non-AI, you need to have the technical expertise to know what you're building, but at the same time, I learned you need to be able to sell it. Most founders are good at building a product, but they struggle selling it. And at the end, the investors don't finance your innovation, they finance your growth of the company. So you need to either be very early and figure out, like, I have the trust relationship to a business angel who's supporting me because I'm a cool guy or woman. On the other hand, you want to have the heavy money when you know you can grow. And this growing phase is where most startups struggle and where most startups don't achieve. They have amazing products and they can't sell it, either because it's expensive or they don't know the process, they don't have the network. So I learned over the time you need to be able to sell and bring your product into the real life. And then you can continue. We always lose this. We don't need new innovations. We need the real integration.
AI is often associated with innovation, but it's also filled with challenges. Can you tell us about a time when you faced a significant obstacle or setback in your career and how you overcome it?
So big pictures challenges, especially with AI and innovation, is jobs. Yeah, because a lot of people are not replaced by AI, but they will be replaced by people using AI. So AI is productivity boost, therefore means the company is either using the same amount of people and has higher productivity or needs less people to achieve the same productivity. And this is a personal challenge on every level. Like we all had jobs which don't exist anymore, or someone else was doing this cheaper, offshore, etc. My personal approach there is always to improve on myself and stay with all the tools, learning a lot of tools. I never stop learning. I'm like, when Gen A came out, I was the first, not the first, but really early into testing a lot of tools. I'm using 20 to 30 AI tools differently. Using them, never think you know everything and stay young in your mind and continue with this. I had a handful of setbacks in life. For example, I tried to raise a larger fund in the past for AI, and all the family offices and state pension funds told me there is no AI. We don't invest into AI. It will never come. So I had to learn that I'm too early in the market, that I'm too visionary, and that I need way more patience to stay with the market because the rest of the world takes longer to accept and understand how the whole implications are. So currently I'm writing a book about the state of AI in contrast, from European perspective in comparison to China and United States. And I'm telling the same story for 10 years and still it hasn't reached everyone. And therefore a book, for example, is the next challenge for me to finish, to write, to market. It costs a lot of money and energy, but I do this because I have a mission I want to share with the world.
You have mentioned your interest in the ethics of AI and technology. How do ethically consideration influence your investment decisions? And are there any specific areas or principles you prioritize?
So I try to avoid companies who are there just for the money. So I don't invest a lot into gambling. I don't invest into trading. I don't believe that the turbo capitalistic system is sustainable, and therefore I don't want to enforce it. I love everything which is in the healthcare space and making you live longer. I like everything which helping you in the mental space to be more, the better yourself. I like everything which is in the industries, which will lead to less people needing to do a job they hate. It's a different ethical challenge what to do with those people then, but still I believe a lot of people do jobs they don't really like and they only do it for the money, and I think this could be automated. So I like to do this overall. I'm also open for dual sense technologies. That means in the military defense thing, knowing that using more tech means less civilians are killed into wars, and we have to accept that wars are there. We can't prevent this. It's existing. It's part of human nature, unfortunately. And therefore, if we use the better technology, you can prevent a lot of catastrophes. And therefore, it's always a balance. I don't go for offensive weapon, but everything which is giving, our armies a little bit more intelligence to prevent that someone is dying on the field, I like to support this too.
How many people find inspiration in quotes? Do you have a favorite quote or mantra that resonates with you and has guided you throughout your career?
So I thought about this before and don't actually have a right quote. I think I quote a lot, but I never know who said this before. So for me, it goes what I said before. I work mainly on myself. I need to be mentally fit before I go to others. I don't like to be aggressive or blaming or hurtful to people just because I have personal problems and because they triggered me. They don't want to insult me. It is how I feel inside if they're able to insult me. So I put a lot of energy into myself to be stable, to be calm, to be in a certain zen feeling, and then I can help the rest of the world. Then we mentioned that you only live once. I know it's a mantra of a different generation, but it's true. You have to seize every day. And I don't optimize anymore for the future too much because today I live and breathe and I could die every day. I just could get a heart stroke or fall down the stairs. And then for me, it's important, be patient. Don't give up, but be patient. Look for the right timing, or just be patient in the market until the whole thing involves to you. And then at the end, everything is about energies. Energy between us, energy about the people listening to us, energy for yourself, your family. If you see how the whole world in energy, and even if it's a little bit
Correct.
esoteric, it is how you have
No,
relationships to
I
yourself, to
believe
your
it.
family.
You are
And
saying energy. Yeah, you are saying energy, but I call it universal law. It is there are 12 universal laws, and within the 12 universal laws, you have one universal law is the law of vibration. This is the first law of the universe. Law of vibration means everything is energy. What we are thinking, what we are seeing, every metal, every material of the world, even in the universe, is part of the energy. So
I
we
agree.
both are energy. So if we are
Yes,
thinking, I'm passing something and my thoughts into you as a part of the energy. So of course, I believe in your quotes from Akra that yes, we live in once in a life. Every day is a blessed day you have that you are having a life. So be with the life, achieve it. What the goals we are have a peace of mind and have health. And I'm very happy that you are doing all these things, Fabian. So every person will be inspired. And
I hope. I hope it's for everyone.
definitely,
It's his or her own journey. And what you said
absolutely.
is like every day you're reborn when you go to sleep. And I'm currently trying to even analyze my dreams. I want to, I have a dream book next to my desk, and when I wake up in the night, I will take down some notes because I'm very
Mm,
curious to know my state of mind while I'm sleeping. But every day I go to bed knowing I'm not sure if I wake up or not, and every day I'm reborn. It's a new opportunity to do the best, and also have, how do you say, caring yourself. So if I don't feel well, I accept this. If my state of mind is depressed in the day, I accept this. I don't punish myself. I don't yell at myself. I treat myself with love and appreciation. And only if I can love myself, I can love others.
yes, absolutely. Love is start from within itself. If you don't have the love feelings, you can't give it to others. Um, seriously, good to know that, Fabian, that we are in the same level of energy. That okay, I thought, and one more thing, I really love to have a dream book because dreams is basically the part of your subconscious mind. Whatever you are seeing in your dreams, it's basically the subconscious mind is telling you something. So you need to have a proper conscious level. When you wake up, you have a conscious now. And you need to see, you need to remember and write it down your dreams in a proper way. So every time you will see, okay, my subconscious mind is telling me this, right? So
Yes.
perfect. You are going very well, Fabian. You have no idea what you are doing.
Well, I'm fine. Finally, in the state of a mind where I'm happy with my life. And I
uh,
used to be for 20 years running after attention, pushing my ego. I wanted to have more of energy of outside, more newspapers, more interviews, everything.
mm,
But then I learned that being myself is just sufficient, and I don't need the energy of other people to be happy with myself.
you have also been involved in AI investment through Asgard Capital. What criteria do you look for when selecting AI startups to invest in? And what advice would you give to inspiring AI entrepreneurs seeking funds?
So for all founders out there who are starting the business or have started before,
Mm,
it's about relationships. You do not get money just because you write a cold email. It is because you know the
mm,
investors before and you have built trust with them. Trust is crucial because at the beginning you just have a pitch deck and you have some ideas and you have motivation and time, but you often do not have something to which a tangible asset is. Therefore, investments in early stage or seed or Series A is always an investment into the future. And for this, you need to build the trust. And I like to compare it to dating, like finding your husband or future
mm.
wife. It is, building this trust. Do I want to be with this person on board for the next 5 to 10
Past 10
years?
years, yes.
That's why you also have contracts, because contracts are like a prenup. It's like, just for case of breaking up, we need to figure out when we are still on the honeymoon phase, in case this doesn't work out, how do we break this up? That's why you need contracts. But in the contracts, you already see, does this person trust you? Are these terms fair, or are they too aggressive? And I also say, don't take stupid money. Don't take the money just because you get it from people who will harm you. Having investors with money, but they block your vision, they block your energy, this will kill you at the end. I have seen many companies going down because the CEO left the company in a fight with his investors and vice versa. So you try to find, and even with less capital, try to find the right people who will push you, who will help you, who will help you to reach the next level, in private and in business life.
Perfect, perfect. This is a very good advice I would like to see in the startups, especially because when I make the projections or valuation for the startups or for the investors, I see that the contract, the people either decide to startup or the investor, the contract itself is giving the mirror, okay, either this relation is going far or not. So when you are making the contract, every terms and condition should be true and fair values. Both parties do should be beneficial, not just the one party should be beneficial. So again, you told me that it's like making a couple. You are having a contract with the person at least for 5 to 10 years. So trust building is everything. Because when you have a business or when you have a startup, there are so many stages. Either they are falling, they are progressing, they will have the downs as well. So how you both parties will agree to at the same page. So trust level is first thing, and investors should basically investor is investing his money into the startup founder's vision. He
Yes.
sees that yes, that maybe the startup will be in future will be grow. So he is not investing in the startup. Basically, investor investing his money and his energy into the founder vision. So this is the main thing we need to think about the founder, that the investor is just putting his money to trust you, not your ideas, not on your startup.
I
So
agree. We invest into people.
yes, his vision or why that the energy, what the passion is about, and that relationship at least is going for 5 to 10 years. And do you have
If,
any other
if you're doing well, yes.
do you have any other experience when you are in Asgard Capital? What do you how many investment you have done so far in this year or in a coming year as part of this company, Fabian?
So I personally have done what 50 to 70 investments in the last 15 years. But you don't keep the relationship to all of them. But sometimes you have small ticket, large ticket, they go bust, they got sold. So on a private level, I do, as I said, 1 to 2 investments a year. For selected one, it's because a question of attention. Yeah, do I have enough attention with the fund I'm part with, which is called AI Fund .vc. As I said, we want to do 10 to 20 investments a year, but we're 5 partners. Therefore, everyone will do, let's say, 5 investments per person, maybe a year. I personally believe you cannot manage more than 10 investments full time as a partner, because then you're losing the attention. So you always can
Absolutely.
think like, okay, I take the fund and each partner is getting 5 to 10 investments overall, and then you can do the math how many investments are possible. Also, it's always a question, do you invest into Asia, do you invest into Europe? I prefer to invest where I have network and value add. So for the companies I've invested in, I know the parliament people, I know the Secretary of States, I know the minister, I know all the press media people, I know follower investors. So if I invest into a company, let's say in Germany, I can help them to get visibility and follow on fundings. I'm not the best guy to help you with network in Asia. It's not my best network. I can help you more there, with knowledge, market access to Europe, strategic advice. So I try to put my money there where I also can add value and where I really can help.
So this is a very nice have a meeting with you, Fabian, and I hope this meeting is giving any advice to any other startups who are seeking funds in the market right now. Thank you, Fabian, for your time, and we will catch up in the next few weeks more later for the more details with you. Okay, thank you, Fabian.
Thank you very much for having me in here. And for everyone else who
Thank
wants to
you.
follow up, feel free to add me on LinkedIn, join our conference.
Perfect.
You know, I'm doing a lot in the AI fields. Reach out to me if you just want to have advice and opinion.
Perfect. Thank you, Fabian, for your advice. Thank you.
Bye.